नमस्ते मेरा नाम रूथ हो and
what's your Nepali name?
my good question. I was just about to tell you. Sometimes Ruth is kind of hard to say, so in Nepal I go by Rupa. So, is that good? Is Rupa okay? Okay. Is that weird? I don't know. Oh, okay, good. There was just some laughs, so I got nervous if I shouldn't go by Rupa. So you can call me Rupa. I am an American university student, as you may know. So today I'm going to talk to you about making friends. And I know what you're thinking. Rupa, I know how to make friends. I have lots of Nepali friends. And I'm glad. Making friends is so much fun. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of American friends. And I have a lot of international friends. And so I'm just going to give you some tips and tricks and advice about making friends in the United States. Because a lot of you may have only made friends within your own culture, and so you know how to do that really well, but sometimes making friends cross-culturally can be a little bit different, in a good way. And so I'm just going to talk a little bit about what it's like to make friends from another culture. So, just a little bit about me. Don't worry, I won't talk about me forever, but these may just be some things that you will want to talk about with friends that you make in the United States. So, I am from the great state of Ohio. And if you're curious, Ohio is right here, the red in the United States. Okay, I went to present. Oh no. Wait, how do I zoom out? That's okay. Anyways, I know a lot of you, I've heard a lot of you are going to school in Minnesota, which is up here. I've heard Kentucky before. Kentucky is right underneath Ohio, so I know a lot about Kentucky. I'm 21 years old, and I currently study social work at Harding University in Searcy. We all go to Harding University in Searcy, Arkansas. So I'm in my third year, I finished my third year, so I'm entering my last year. I have 2 dogs. Oh no, that's one of my dogs. They're really small. I know the dogs in Nepal are kind of big. I have like really small dogs. I think the dogs in Nepal would probably eat my dogs. My favorite food is tacos. Do y'all know what tacos are? Yeah, from Mexico. Tacos from Mexico. So good. And chips and salsa to go with the tacos, obviously. When you're in the United States, you have to go to a Mexican restaurant and you have to try tacos in the United States. Because Mexico's right below, so they're pretty good. I also love to travel, as seen here. My number 1 bucket list item is to go to every single continent. I'm pretty close. Obviously, we're in Asia. Asia is my 5th continent. So I just have Australia and Antarctica left. How am I going to get to Antarctica? I don't know, but I'll get there somehow. So here are my qualifications to talk to you about making friends. Here's some of my friends at university. So let's talk about why it's important to make friends. So it's really important to make friends because it just makes things more fun. And so when you're in the United States, you're going to be away from your families and you're going to be away from all your friends that are in Nepal. So it's really important that you reach out and make those social connections in America, because while it's important that you maintain all your friends back home, you don't want to be lonely, and so if you don't make the effort to make those social connections, things are going to be really hard in the United States for you. And so making friends with people who are also from Nepal may be beneficial, because I know a lot of you are going to the same universities potentially, but also branching out and making friends with Americans who go to the university. And it's likely that there will be other students from many different cultures at your school. So reaching out and making friends with people from so many different cultures can have so many different benefits, because you can just learn so much about about other people and so much about the world. And so it's just so fun, just learning about other people and learning about the world. And so it can also create connections for your future. I mean, you have no idea who you're going to meet and where it's going to take you. Even when you come back to Nepal, you can keep up with those connections in the United States or wherever, like around the world. And those can lead to future opportunities for you to take you even further. So all in all, it is very, very important that you reach out and make friends. So let's talk about some ways to make friends. These are just some ideas, but also kind of from like an American's perspective about like how I kind of make friends. Right from the get-go, like as soon as you arrive, I think it's really important that you really reach out, because when you arrive, it's the beginning of the semester, and that's when people have the most energy. People have the most energy, and people will reach out the most at the beginning, and as the semester goes on, people kind of get more tired or they have more work to do. So right when you get there, go and reach out, make some friends. And so I've made a lot of friends in my classes. And so because you have to go there multiple times a week, and a lot of times people will sit in the same seat every single class. And it kind of becomes like their assigned seat. Even though your professor may not officially assigned seats, people will always sit in the same seats. So the same people are likely going to be sitting next to you and in front of you. So talk to them, say hi, introduce yourself, tell them about where you're from, ask about where they're from, because you're going to see them a lot. And so this can also be really fun and a really good way to say, hey, do you want to study with me for this test that's coming up in this class? And so you can meet up with them later. And that's a really, really good way to meet people, because you just see them so much. And same thing with who you live with. You're likely going to be living with roommates or other people. And so if you have to live with them, you might as well talk to them, since you're not living with your families, or whoever you're living by, who's like down the hall and things like that, because just like your classes, you're going to see them a lot. And so that's a really good way to say, oh, hey, do you want to go do this with me or go do that? A lot of universities will have clubs and things like that. And so like Ellie was talking about with campus life and things like that, really reach out to those clubs. And I'm sure there will be some sort of club, especially for international students, and that will be a really good gateway to talk to people who are in a very similar situation as you. And so making friends is all about finding things that you have in common. And so clubs are a really good way to find things that people have in common with you, similar things that they like. Same thing with sports. Americans love sports. They love playing sports, they love watching sports, they love talking about sports. I personally don't love sports, but it's still a really good way to make friends, because you can go and watch sports and talk to people there, or playing sports. And so, and there's so many different opportunities for sports on campus, and things like that. And so again, on-campus activities, be on the lookout, see what your campus has to offer you and see what's available. Because again, you can find things that you like and go to, and then you'll find other people that like those things too for you to talk about. And I think it's really common in the United States to ask people to get coffee. This is a really big tip. And so again, Americans love coffee, and you don't have to get coffee. A lot of coffee shops have tea too. And so if you meet somebody from any of these areas, you can say, hey, would you like to go get coffee with me sometime? That is very, very common and a very good way to get to know people, because you can just sit there and you can talk about anything you want, anything you have in common. You can talk about Nepal, you can talk about where they're from, anything like that. And so I would say that's a really, really good way to get to know people, and just make connections, and knowing that not everybody you talk to is going to become your closest friend, and that's okay. But just reaching out and making connections will just really, really help you to have a positive experience. But, and balancing making friends in between your classwork as well. But making friends will help you to have a very positive experience.